Welcome back. So with the length, due to the length, we just broke this video into two parts. In the first part, we discussed about the socket introduction, and now we will see the socket programming. Okay, so let's start with the socket programming. So we are using here the Eclipse for using the programming interface. So server program, we will be creating now a server program here. We have already seen. So let's start with the server. So we have created a package called as netpack. Here we will create a new class in this package. So this class will be created. We will create here a server. Okay, and as we need the void method, so we put here a void. So a server is created for us. We are going to use the server socket and the socket class. So here we need to import java.net package. Okay, and as we have to include the input output streams, so java.io package is also to be included. Now when we are trying to open up a socket on a particular program, sometime there may be an exception. So what we will use, we will here make a method which can give us the exception. Okay, so we will call the throws exception. So any kind of exception while creating a connection or while opening up a stream, that will be captured in the method. Now we need to create the socket class. First we are going to create a server. Okay, so we will creating here a socket. So server socket will be created. So this should be capital. And this server socket is to have a particular, you can say, port and the where we want to connect. Okay, so this port is used to provide the service by the server at 5000 number. Okay, the ports should be numbered like those numbers which are not specifically used by any, you can say, already existing service. So in order to just save the time, I'm going to use this. So we have initiated the server, and now this server has to create the socket. On successful acceptance, accept is the method which is already available in our server socket. So we will create here a socket which will accept a method for us, server socket, and this will be our client. Okay, so it will accept the method. Once this is method is accepted, we will say the connection is, or client is accepted. So we have accepted the client here. And now once the client is accepted, there is need to create the streams. Streams means input and output. We need to create both the streams. So we will be just now creating the streams one by one. So these streams will be created for us. We will be creating these streams for our socket, which is okay. And now let's understand what this means. So these are the streams which we are using print writer, which is used as the output stream for our client. Okay, and similarly we will be using the streams for our input. The two types of inputs are there. One is the input stream of the client, and second is the input for the keyboard, where our keyboard will be used to type in the message by the server, and that message will be sent to the client. Now once this has been done, we will be now using a logic to send the data and when to stop the communication between server and client. Suppose we accept a, now we have to go for a particular values which we go on and then print the message. Okay, so here what is there, the while message is taken and two strings are used. One string is used for this buffered reader, which is the client input stream to input the values and show them, and second is this is the response of the client. Okay, and kb is the keyboard that we are using here, and it is the response of our server which it will be print and sent to. Okay, then we will be closing one by one all the things. We are closing the client and we are closing the server also. Okay, so in order to exit this once this task is over, so we will exit the application. So this way we will be creating our server here. Okay, and our server has been created. Okay, so now this server will execute. We have to execute the server. Let's see the, okay, so all the back brackets has to be balanced. So once we run this server will show that server has been initiated, but as we have not yet created any client, so it has to respond with the client, so client has to be created. So we are just closing this and now we will create the client. So for creating the client, again we go to our application, create a new class called as client. Again we need this main method. So here in the main method we put in all the things and we will create all these values in the main method. So how this is going to work, let me tell you. So here we are going to create the sockets. So for creating the sockets we need to put in the Java Netpack, as we are also going to create the streams, so we have to go for the streams. Okay, so these two has been done. Now throw exception, just to capture any kind of exception. Socket is for the socket, and this is the IP address which represent our local host or this computer where we have server as well as client on a single computer. As we know, this is the common address which is used to represent the same computer or local host. We can give here a name localhost also. And this is the port which we have already created in the server. So this should be created. Okay. Now we are going to create the output stream, which is for the socket to get the output stream and buffered reader for get the input stream. Similarly for the keyboard, because client will also type in the message and send to the server. So how to stop this communication if there comes an exit method? Exit is a string that is given, then we will close the communication. Okay, unless until if it is not there, then what we will do, we will just print on send to the server, receive from the server, and accordingly we'll close all the things. So let's see on. So we need exceptions. Let's balance these. One, close. This is not required. This is not required. Okay, so we will save it, and now we have to first run the server. So server has been initiated. Now we will go to the client and run the client. So server initiated, client accepted. This is the server side. We can switch between these two. by here. The highlighted is the selected one. This is the client side. Okay. Suppose the client side return some message, it goes to the server. And if the server send the message, it goes to the client. And now they can communicate. Suppose now there is a closure, or you want to close down the communication, then exit has to be typed in. Once you will exit, so all the things will be done and it will close the things. Okay, and all the communication has been over. You can check with this server. Okay, so this is again stopped. So all this has been stopped. So we can stop all the things here. So this way we can communicate between two things. One is our computer and second is client and second is the server. So this way we can just have a server and client using the sockets in Java. Okay, so thanks for watching this. If you like this video, you are requested to like it. Fine, and stay tuned with my channel. Subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the new things coming in. Okay, so soon we are going to start with the recent technology video series. Thanks for watching. Thank you.